In April 2025, Canada faced a defining moment. With tensions rising over U.S. President Donald Trump's aggressive rhetoric, Canadians rallied behind a new leader, Mark Carney. Taking the reins of the Liberal Party, Carney's campaign centered on one powerful message: protect Canadian sovereignty. Against the odds, he led the Liberals from a 25-point deficit to victory, proposing bold solutions for housing, fair taxation and economic resilience. His promise? A Canada that stands strong, united and independent. As global attention turned north, one message rang clear: Canada is not for sale, and its future will be written by Canadians. Listen to all that he said during the campaign.
Siblings. I appreciate this more in retrospect from my siblings. My siblings, Brenda, Sean, and Brian. Values that I learned on the ice from my coaches. Values that have been reinforced as I've met with Canadians across this great country. And those include three values that I want to highlight this evening. Humility. It's Canada after all. Ambition. It's Canada after all. And unity. It's Canada. I love you. Right back. Right back. These are good values. These are Canadian values. Values that I will do my best. I'm just getting worked up here. These are values that I will do my best to uphold every day as your Prime Minister. You betcha. Okay, well, you have to judge after this next section, because I am going to begin with the value of humility, and by admitting that I have much to be humble about. It's true. Over my long, that's not an applause line, it's just a statement of fact. Over my long career, I have made many mistakes, and I will make more. But I commit to admitting them openly, to correcting them quickly, and always learning from them. You know, humility underscores the importance of governing as a team in cabinet and in caucus, and working constructively with all parties across Parliament. Of working in partnership with the provinces and the territories, and with Indigenous peoples. And at this time, it underscores the value of bringing together labor, business, civil society, to advance the nation-building investments we need to transform our economy. Humility is also about recognizing that one of the responsibilities of government is to prepare for the worst, not hope for the best. As I've been warning for months, America wants our land, our resources, our water, our country. Never. But these are not idle threats. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never ever happen. But we also must recognize the reality that our world has fundamentally changed. There is also, for me, as I stand before you this evening, humility in recognizing that, well, many have chosen to place your trust in me, trust in the Liberal Party. Millions of our fellow citizens preferred a different outcome. And my message to every Canadian is this: no matter where you live, no matter what language you speak, no matter how you voted, I will always do my best to represent everyone who calls Canada home. You know, during this short campaign, I went to Saskatchewan and Alberta a couple of times, even though, you know, we're Liberals. It's tough. It's tough out there. I grew up there. But I went because I intend to govern for all Canadians. And au cours de cette campagne, Plusieurs Québécois et Québécoises
Throughout this
m'ont
campaign,
ouvert leurs portes, m'ont
Quebecers
accordé
opened their
leur
doors
confiance.
to me and gave me
J'en
their
suis
confidence.
profondément touché,
And
et je vous
I have
en
been deeply
remercie.
touched by that, and I want to
La langue
thank you.
française. La langue française,
The French
la culture
language,
québécoise, elles
Quebec
sont
culture
au cœur de l'identité
are
canadienne.
at the very center of Canadian identity.
Elles définissent
They
le pays
define
que
this
j'aime
country,
tant.
the country that I
Je
love so
vais
much.
les défendre sans
And
relâche.
I will defend them tirelessly.
Avec la forte équipe de députés québécois,
With my team of Quebec members of Parliament that you have
nous
just
allons faire en
sent to
sorte que le
Ottawa,
Québec
we will
continue
ensure
de
that Quebec will
prospérer
continue
au sein
to
de
prosper
Canada fort.
within a strong Canada.
Et que vous soyez un travailleur
And
des
whether
sables bitumineux à
you're
Fort Mac,
a
une
worker
infirmière de
in
Joliette,
Fort Mac
ou un
or
comptable de Toronto. Il
an
y a
accountant
plusieurs
from Toronto
comptables à Toronto.
or a worker
Mon
from
gouvernement va
Quebec,
travailler pour
my
vous
government
tous.
will work for all
So,
of you.
As we come here after this most consequential election, let's put an end to the division and anger of the past. We are all Canadian, and my government will work for and with everyone. I began with humility, but Canadians are ambitious. And now, more than ever, it is a time for ambition. It is a time to be bold, to meet this crisis with overwhelming positive force of a united Canada. Because we are going to build, baby, build. Exactly. Throughout, not for, well, no, we're building now. We've gotten over that bit. Throughout our history, there have been turning points. Throughout our history, there have been turning points when the world's fortunes were in the balance. That was the case at the start of the Second World War, just as it was at the end of the Cold War. And each time, Canada chose to step up, to assert ourselves as a free, sovereign, and ambitious nation, to lead the path of democracy and freedom, and, because we are Canadian, to do so with compassion and generosity. We are once again at one of those hinge moments of history. Our old relationship with the United States, a relationship based on steadily increasing integration, is over. The system of open global trade, anchored by the United States, a system that Canada has relied on since the Second World War, a system that, while not perfect, has helped deliver prosperity for a country for decades, is over. These are tragedies, but it's also our new reality. We are over the shock of the American betrayal, but we should never forget the lessons.
But you're going to take it forward.
We have to look out for ourselves. And above all, we have to take care of each other. When I sit down with President Trump, it will be to discuss the future economic and security relationship between two sovereign nations. And it will be with our full knowledge that we have many, many other options than the United States to build prosperity for all Canadians. Nous allons renforcer nos relations avec des
We
partenaires
will
fiables
strengthen our
en
relations
Europe,
with
en
reliable
Asie et
partners
ailleurs.
in Europe,
Et si les
Asia, and
États-Unis
elsewhere.
ne veulent
And if
plus
the United
jouer
States
un rôle de premier plan
no longer
dans
wants to be in the
l'économie
forefront
mondiale, le Canada
of the
ne
global
le fera
economy,
pas. We will lead,
Canada will.
not the Americans. Nous sommes maîtres chez nous.
We are masters in our own home. We will build millions of housing units. We will become an energy superpower. We will provide good careers in skilled trades and one economy, not 13.
Because this is Canada and we decide what happens here. We will need to think big and act bigger. Your phone's ringing. Sorry, just okay. All right. Just hang on. It's okay? Yeah. It might be important. We will need to do things previously thought impossible at speeds we haven't seen in generations. It's time to build twice as many homes every year with an entirely new housing industry using Canadian technology, Canadian skilled workers, Canadian lumber. It's time to build new trade and energy corridors, working in partnership with the provinces, territories, and Indigenous peoples. It's time to build hundreds of thousands of not just good jobs, but good careers in the skilled trades. It's time to build Canada into an energy superpower in both clean and conventional energy. And it's time to build an industrial strategy that makes Canada more competitive while fighting climate change. We will build one Canadian economy, not 13, with a government committed to free trade in Canada by Canada Day. The point is that we can give ourselves far more than the Americans can ever take away. But even given that, I want to be clear. The coming days and months will be challenging, and they will call for some sacrifices. But we will share those sacrifices by supporting our workers and our businesses. Les défis devant nous sont
The
intimidants.
challenges ahead
Les grands changements,
will be
comme ceux
difficult,
que nous vivons,
but that
sont
is
toujours
clear.
inquiétants.
Major changes, such as the ones we're seeing,
avons
are
beaucoup de
always
chemin à faire.
concerning.
Mais j'ai
We have a long way to go,
J'ai
but I'm
confiance en
confident.
vous.
I'm
J'ai
confident, I
confiance
trust
au
you,
Canada.
and I have confidence in all of Canada.
Because Canada is more than a nation. We are and we always will be a confederation, a sacred set of ideas and ideals built on practical foundations. That we know we're not always perfect, but we always strive to be good. We do things because they're right, not because they're easy. That we see kindness as a virtue, not as a weakness. Most importantly, we know that our strength lies in our resolve to work together as a country. It relies on our unity. You know, on the second day of this campaign, I went to Gander, where on 9/11, they welcomed thousands of passengers into their homes without question or hesitation. I sat down with two of the many heroes of the time, Diane Davis and Beulah Cooper. And during our conversation, they showed me a thank you card that they'd received from a young girl called Ellie, who wrote, "Your kindness motivates me to use my kindness." That touching phrase captures what Canadians instinctively know, that virtue is like a muscle that grows with its exercise. We become just by doing just acts, brave by doing brave acts. When we are kind, kindness grows. When we seek unity, unity grows. When we are Canadian, Canada grows. And united over our history, we have done hard, seemingly impossible things. United, we have built one nation in harsh conditions, despite a sometimes hostile neighbor. Yes, they have form on this, the Americans. United, we have confronted our own past with indigenous peoples. United,
we built a country that brings together languages and cultures and beliefs that are different. We built critical cultural institutions, such as CBC, Radio-Canada.
United, we have created universal public health care. And now, in the face of this crisis, united, we are buying Canadian. We are exploring everything this country has to offer. We are supporting our friends and neighbors in the crosshairs of President Trump through a crisis that we did not create. United, we will win this trade war and build the strongest economy in the G7, an economy that works for everyone.
In recent months, Canadians have done their part. They came together to defend our country and our way of life, who we are. And I know that when we are threatened, we will fight.
We will fight back with everything we have to get the best deal for Canada. We will protect our workers and businesses, and above all, we will build an independent future for our great country. A future that makes the greatest country on the earth even better. Together, we will build a Canada worthy of our values. We will build Canada strong, Canada free, Canada forever. Vive le Canada. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.